All right, so today we are making a savory pot roast with honey soy Brussels sprouts. In this one, we have a 2 pound chuck roast. Go with whatever size you prefer. Just know that the cook time may vary. We have some olive oil we're applying to each side just to allow our baseline seasoning, which consists of salt, garlic powder, and black pepper to adhere to the chuck roast. All right, so we have this crock pot savory pot roast seasoning pack. Use this or something similar. Then a tablespoon of each: garlic powder, black pepper, salt. You can use chipotle seasoning or steak seasoning. We have Italian seasoning, and last but not least, smoked paprika. We're just gonna give this a little mix and combine everything together. All right, so we have about a half a cup of a diced green bell pepper and small white onion. And then we have a turkey bag that we added the pot roast to. This is very important, going to allow the pot roast to cook perfectly and lock in all that flavor. We have 2 tablespoons of all-purpose flour and at least a cup and a half to 2 cups of beef broth. And we're gonna add the green bell peppers and then that onion to the mix. All right, so now we're adding the seasoned mix we prepared earlier. Then we want to get in here and just mix everything together. We'll flip the pot roast. The goal is just to break down the flour, kind of get that combined with the beef broth, the onions, the peppers, the seasoning. This doesn't have to be perfect because in the next step we'll actually close the bag and we'll toss everything just to kind of make sure things are broken down a little bit more, but more importantly that those flavors are distributed as evenly as possible. All right, so now we're just adding this to a circular pan. Use whatever you have. As long as it sits flush, it will be perfectly fine. We want to make sure we lock the flavor in, so we're gonna get this tied up as tight as possible. We did a few knots here, and then we're gonna lastly use this little tie that the turkey bag comes with. Then you're going to poke at least 2 to 3 holes somewhere near the knot. And then we're going into a 350-degree oven. Depends on your oven, but the cook time ranges anywhere from 2 hours upwards towards 2 hours and 45 minutes. Getting started on the honey soy Brussels sprouts, we added some olive oil, going in with this amount of Brussels sprouts. So it's important because the amount of soy and honey that you use is determined by the amount of Brussels sprouts you're cooking. We're just gonna cook these till they're fully cooked and have a little bit of color. This is about a 1/4 cup of soy and then about a 1/4 cup of honey. We'll toss this around a little bit. As you can see here, there's a little bit of a simmer to that sauce. It doesn't take long at all to lock these flavors into the Brussels sprouts. So at this point, we've turned off the heat, kind of just let that finish and marinate. Now be careful when doing this, but you want to move that pot roast over to some type of pan. We're using a glass here. And then we want to open that up and kind of just get all of these flavors mixed and combined, broken down even more, because all of the juices, everything like the pepper, the onion, the seasoning mix, it all came together very perfectly. But this was the final product. Definitely is worth trying. Simple but tasty. Hope you enjoyed. We'll catch you on the next one.